What's going on, YouTubeites? Welcome to the last Lords of the Long Box live show and the last Shakers of the year, I do believe. So we're going to try to shake it up as much as possible. We're going early today because, people got stuff to do. It's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year and good riddance to 2020. So, we're going to try to, keep you guys entertained for a good 30, 45 minutes, see what's going on in the world. Shout out to everybody who's been tailgating. I know it's early, so, there's not a ton of you, but a lot of guys are chatting in there. Kevin Feige, thank you for all the scoops from this year. Red Lodge Crow, Jay Saints, our friend, Wesley's Comics, Cherokee Meadow, Brett Ward. You know what? I will continue giving you guys those shouts out as soon as I play a little intro music to get you guys into the mood and why, since it's a Shakers list, we got to shake it, right? Shake it.
There we go. Nice.
You got to bring the energy, although it's only 2 p.m. in the afternoon here. I think it's 5 p.m. Otto, I think, has already started drinking.
That's it. It's happy hour, man. It's happy hour. It's New Year's.
I'm going to the beach at about 2 hours, man. That's our annual tradition. We go to the beach. We watch the sunset to symbolically say goodbye to the previous year. It's literally and figuratively watching the sunset on the year. So that's what we're going to do. All right, say hello to everybody in the live chat. Otto.
What's up, everybody? We got a lot of people hanging out with us tonight. I'm happy to join you guys on New Year's Eve, the last show of the Movers and Shakers. Just happy to be here with JB, especially. Long time no see, my friend. It's great to see you, and especially always TiVo, of course, and everybody else in the live chat. Very happy to see everybody tonight.
Speaking of which, JB from Discovery Bay Comics. Say what's up to the good people.
How you doing, everybody? I'm JB from Discovery Bay Comics. If you're not familiar with me, I'll be dropping my link periodically during the live show. Thanks for joining us on New Year's Eve, and it's going to be we're going to kick off the party, basically. Get your cocktails out, because by the time we get to number one, you're going to be ready for it.
Shout out to everybody who's been day drinking, so it's going to be a long day. It's not like you got anywhere to go. You can't go to clubs or bars or any of that shit, so just drink at home. Then for some of us who are working, we're dreading getting a call as I look at my phone. So once again, this is the CoverPrice Shakers of the List, brought to you from our friends from CoverPrice.com. This list comes from our friends at CoverPrice, focusing on new sales of the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily Shakers list. This list changes several times every day. So make sure you check it out every day to review some of the hottest trending books. So we pull this list. It can change. You know what I mean? The prices can change. Somebody else can buy it. But typically, this is different from the CoverPrice Top 10 because this is like a single book that hits a big price and something that draws our attention. And also this show sponsored by our friends from KRS Comics. Go to krscomics.com. Right now, KRS Comics and CoverPrice are working together. Look at that. Both of our friends are working together on a giveaway. You can win some cool KRS Comics giveaway. The link is in the live chat right there. You just go follow those instructions. I do believe there's two ways of entering. One is to go to CoverPrice members. Just click on it and you enter. And another one is to follow and tag friends on CoverPrice and on Instagram. So there you go. I just dropped a link in the live chat. There's some really cool KRS Comics exclusives that you can get working with our friends from CoverPrice, man. So, we will go talk about CoverPrice as we go through, because if you sign up for full membership, you get to see all 50 of the shakers and movers. If you sign up for free, I think you see 5. If you sign up for the minimum, you see only 10. So it's interesting just to see what's moving, what people are buying. And that's what this list is. This is, book a single sale that just says, wait a second, that was probably, why are they buying that? And then some you'll see like, oh, that kind of makes sense. But this list is very interesting. And next week will be the big show where it's the end of the year, where kind of, how all the news networks do it, where you look back at the end of the year at all the biggest news. Well, this is on next Thursday Shaker Show. We're going to do the biggest shakers of the year, where we look back to see what were the biggest shakers of the year. And as long as the Lord's on there, our friend Matt and John from CoverPrice are going to be on there. So it's going to be a supersized, giant-sized man thing of a show. So
what a way to start the new year, brother. What a way to start.
What a way to start a year. Well, we're going to have the CoverPrice Top 10 on Tuesday. So that'll just, that's the regular thing. But the end of the year in review, everybody does those things. This is yeah, so we're going to do it too. So cheers, everybody. Start your day drinking now for the CoverPrice Weekly Shakers. And starting off, what do we got for the first one?
Number one, is that me, JB? Am I on that?
That's you. You're first.
All
yeah.
Right. Batman almost got him. Batman almost got him right here. The Western Publications. Look at this one. This is great. It's a time where Marvel's Previews 95 is almost a 10K book and a 9.8. Should this be the first published appearance of Harley Quinn? Should theoretically should it follow that way? Well, it's a children's book. It's graded and recognized by CGC. It really is. It's been increasing in the past 3 years and is a massive new high of $2,500, $2,550 for a CGC 9.0, which outpaces the sale of the BA12, you guys. So there may be something in these non-traditional firsts. That's something to keep a lookout. So there's definitely money out there if you can find them. So Batman almost got him. This book's been talking about for a long time, in the quiet shadows of BA12 versus Harley Quinn. So if you got it, get it slabbed.
What?
I'm confused.
I don't even know what this is. It's Batman Western Publications. It's a children's book.
Yeah.
It's golden. It's those golden books.
Yeah, no, it's a hardcover kitty book that you would have gotten your kids, to tell. Yeah,
remember those little golden books? They have like the gold thing down the side. So, it's 2020, man.
And there's a preview for her in there, or is this really her first appearance based on publication date?
Yeah, right. Based on publication, this is the first time you do see Harley Quinn, but it's not in the DC continuity per se, because these stories were just like one-shot stories of certain characters. Like they did this for many different things, children's fables, children's stories, all this. I know this because my wife is a kindergarten teacher. So these were different stories, but this isn't the continuity of the DC. So but Harley Quinn is in this, and it does,
and CGC graded this thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. It's crazy that kids are like, I love Harley Quinn, and then the Harley Quinn animated series is dropping.
Oh my God, forget about it.
It's like one extreme to the other. It's like, all right, maybe, and parents in the know who are like, hey kids, you like that book? Come on, let's watch this cartoon.
Yeah.
Nope, don't do it. All right. Nope. All right, so the first one up on the list is Batman. Almost got him. Got him. I should have got that graphic ready. Got him. $2,550. That's $2,550 for a CGC 9.8 from December 23rd. Crazy. All right, what else we got up next? What do we got, JB?
I'm blown away by that. All right, we're going back to the comic books. We've got Batman issue 655, but newsstand. Originally published in 2006 from DC Comics. Now, this issue features the first appearance of Damian Wayne. This character has found a big following since his inception and subsequent death and resurrection. Now, while his first appearance sells for about $20 raw, a recent copy sale gave a significant premium of $300 or $299.99 raw. Now, this year's focus on subsequent printings has been an interesting change to what collectors and fans are buying. Now, granted, post-2000 newsstands can be very hard to find. Now, upon the announcement of Luke Fox as Batman, many O'Damian fans We're pretty disappointed by him not taking on that bat mantle in Future State. However, this character still has a lot of potential, and writer James Tynion IV has mentioned that he has secret plans for Damian. Whether a villain or a hero, Damian is a major force to be reckoned with. Now is the time to buy into his first while the standard issue is still affordable.
All right, so this came out in 2020, right? So let me tell you what the breakdown.
This came out in 2006.
Yeah, 2006. I'm sorry.
2006.
So let me tell you what the breakdown is. I was looking at the when it was sold. So let me give you the breakdown on the newsstand versus direct from 2005. 98% of the comics were direct market. Only 2% were newsstand in that year. And keep that in mind as we go on. I'm going to, as some other ones, you're going to see there's a sliding scale on this. I should have got the graphic for you, but basically there is not, we talked about in this past, but not every year, just because it's newsstand makes it more valuable, because early on newsstand or direct stand were the more valuable ones to get. Like the direct market in, let's say, 1982, 20% as opposed to newsstand, which was 80%. So just think, everybody thinks, newsstand is always going to be better. It's not correct. It's a sliding scale. So just keep that in mind as we go through, because you'll be interested. All right. So next up on this list is Batman number 655. What do we got next? This one, man, this brings back, nostalgia big time, man.
It really should, man. This is just unbelievable. Blip number 1. Is that Tim right there with that hair and all that? The short shorts and a polo shirt.
Bonus points to people in the live chat. What game is he playing?
Oh,
come on, man.
That one's easy.
Come on, man.
No, I don't know what that one is. I should know that.
You don't know what that is.
It's Tron, man. It's Tron.
That's Tron. Oh, that is Tron.
Tron. I thought it was Star Wars. Oh my goodness, it's Tron.
No, that is Tron. All right, so let's get started with this. This is Blip number 1, right? So this came out in 1983. Highlight of the mullets, the early 80s. Super Mario Brothers from the Nintendo system, released in 1985. Bringing the beloved Mario to the forefront of many kids. We remember pinning the system, eventually receiving one of the late 1980s along with the 1980s marquee Super Mario Brothers games. For the arcade goers, however, already knew Mario from 1981. His first appearance was in Donkey Kong, everybody. That arcade game where Mario was leaping the barrels, climbing the ladders, and smashing things with a hammer in effort to save the damsel from the dreaded Donkey Kong. By the end of June of 1982, Nintendo already had sold 60,000 Donkey Kong arcade machine games. And in 1983 of January, the game received the Arcade Awards as Best Single Player Video Game Award. So it's no surprise that Marvel featured Donkey Kong in its 1983 debut issue of Blip, okay? A video game magazine in a comic format. This feature article is the first time Donkey Kong and Mario appeared in a comic book / magazine format, as acknowledged by CGC on their label. 7 years before, Valiant released an increasingly popular Nintendo Comics System sneak preview in 1990. Fast forward by the end of 2020, where we have a CGC 9.8 copy of Blip that just sold for $700. Beating its previous 2019 9.8 sale of $285. Significant increase. In that time, when everyone was looking for that cool retro book with first appearances of characters from under our childhood, it's amazing to see such a book like this fly under the comic book community for almost 40 years. A note of caution. If you want to add a copy of to your collection, make sure you avoid Blip number 1, the one shot from 1998 and Blip, and the CCADS number 1 from the 1987 Amazing Comic Book Series. That's a lot of knowledge I just gave you. Rewind this, looking at it 3 times. But Blip with TiVo on the cover playing Tron.
So, you know what? Wow. We kind of see this coming and this trend coming with I would say the popularity over the last year of the grading of video games. It was only a matter of time before other video game things, how it kind of goes, it causes a ripple effect into people saying, well, what other cool video games things can I think of? Well, there you go. Fucking Blip, Unbelievable. What's awesome about this picture is like, somebody's like, hey dude. And he's like, what? And they took a picture of him. That's like,
hey man, you're going to be in a comic.
He's like, dude, I'm fucking playing Tron. Leave me alone. Stop. Get out of here with that. So
it cost me 50 cents.
So,
Yeah.
so just to be clear, this is first appearance of Donkey Kong and Mario.
Yes, correct.
Wow.
Because Mario first appeared in the Donkey Kong game where other people thought it was
I totally
Mario
remember
Brothers.
this magazine. There used to be so many little like magazines like Fangoria and Blip and all these kind of cool magazines, which unfortunately went to the wayside because people don't do magazines anymore. There's a million websites for that kind of stuff. But back, Blip, Wizard, all those cool magazines that you can get for your niche collectible. So man, Blip brings back great memories, and man, I used to just kill it there. Okay, shout out to Wonder Woman 84 for probably one of the few 80s references was breakdancing and I think a shot of an arcade, I do believe. But I'm still a little I don't want to say peeved or angry. Annoyed that there was not a single 80s song in the fucking Wonder Woman movie, the movie that was marketed to be Wonder Woman 84 and even played Blue Monday in the trailer. And I just finished Cobra Kai season 2, and in one episode they play more 80s songs, and Cobra Kai doesn't even take place in the 80s. But you know what? It's just weird. I mean, why would you? Anyway, I don't want to.
Anyway, that's for another discussion.
Yeah, that's the Marky Minute right there. So there you go. Blip sold for 9.8 for 700 bones. Man, what was it? December 25th. They just bought it on Christmas Day, right? It's interesting some of the dates on these sales because you said somebody got their Christmas money. Like, I'm gonna go buy something right now.
Somebody was like, I'm buying this.
All right, and the reason I just brought up the second season of Cobra Kai, it was what we like to call a lead into, boys and girls.
A lead, perfect lead.
And what is the next one?
Well, there you go. We're talking about Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid saga continues #1, but the New York Comic Con variants originally published in 2019 from IDW. Wow. Okay, ready? This week, the very hard to find Johnny and Daniel New York Comic Con variants both sold for $400 raw. Each. Yep. These were limited to 500 copies, which, isn't that small, yet only a handful of copies have actually hit sales like eBay since their release in 2019. With the high market interest on Cobra Kai, this run has seen significant increase in price. The 1 in 25 variant sold last week for $300 raw, and the standard variants can sell between $70 and $100. There are only 4 graded copies, 2 of them are 9.8, by the way, of this New York Comic Con variant. Now, with the 3rd series hitting Netflix in a week, these books should be hot for at least the next several months. Wow.
Not even a week. January 1st. It drops tomorrow. Yeah. So, I mean, this is, I can't explain it. I mean, in the past, stuff like this, nobody really cared about a movie and, things of that nature, but it's 2020. It's got a little bit of everything in the trifecta. It's comic book, it's nostalgia, it's 80s, it's just everything that, people, kids growing up love. Now they have disposable income and they go back and buy these. But, who would have ever thunk that you would care about Cobra Kai? I will admit, I watched season 1 of Cobra Kai and then I totally forgot about season 2 and I binged it over the last 2 days. And season 2 is freaking fantastic. Absolutely love it. I mean, I'm not tuning in for the martial arts because it's basic white belt martial arts at best. But man, the stories that they tell, and you're pulling for one side, and the character development and is so good on it. At one point you're pulling for this guy, then you're pulling for this one, and then one guy this one, and it's just really well written. I never thought I'd say that about a YouTube original on Cobra Kai, but man, I am actually excited to binge watch it hungover on New Year's Day. Yeah. And Sabrina, the last season of Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina 2 is coming. Can't wait for that. Love that show. Ooh. But yeah, so if you have these on your 2020 bingo card, you've won. I've been talking about everybody went, but no, this year you've won. The 2020 bingo card is officially over now. If you have both of these, because I have never seen anybody post these on social media. Ever.
Neither have I.
No, never.
And
another example of this list just being so unique. The Shaker list is the most
this one,
unique
a lot of the
list on YouTube.
Yeah. And as we always say, I challenge anybody who has these, post it on Instagram and tag us so to show us that yes, you do indeed have them, and we will send you a Marvel No Prize. Checks in the mail, as they say. All right. Well, all right, Otto. What is another bit of you know what? We've just been pulling a lot of nostalgia out of this one. What's next, Otto?
Right. Oh, we're just bringing it back to Homer Simpson. The Simpsons. This is though the mini comic book, you guys, in from Bongo in 2003. So reprints.
Wait,
they're getting a lot.
Bongo Comics. Who had
Bongo
that? Yeah.
Comics. Look at that. Mini comic. But look at this. The beautiful homage to FF #1. So a little bit about this book is
I don't know how beautiful, but it's fucking hilarious. We'll go ahead.
We got Moe's in the background. The guys are running to the bar. You got the baby. You got Homer coming out. I mean, this is just unbelievable.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
It's a Fantastic Four homage.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So just so you guys know, reprints are getting a lot of love right now. But when you combine a reprint, nostalgia, and scarcity, you end up with a big value differences between the first prints and the reprint. All right, so follow me on this. Simpsons #1 from 1993 doesn't get much love with CGC. 9.8s are only going around for about $100. But in spite of the beautiful FF Fantastic Four that we just said, fast forward 10 years to Dark Horse under the Bongo label, releasing a reprint of Simpsons comic #1. Hold on a second, though. This reprint has largely the same cover art as the original, but it's a mere 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches, so it can fit in a publisher supplied plastic keychain holder. Okay, right. So now we're getting a mini comic book comes up for sale, but recently a CGC copy went for about 5 times the original in the same CGC grade, 500 bones. You guys, $500. Okay. Dark Horse released other such mini comic books about Finding Nemo, The Lion King, Monsters Inc. And Cowabunga, man, you know, this is mini comic books now. You've got Blip magazines, mini comic books, you know, Captain Dog is getting along. It's the end of 2020.
It's 2020. You know what? I really hope gets hot is the Marvel and DC little 45 record comics.
Oh, I love it.
Where you could play a comic book and listen to the record at the same time, and has like this really 50s, 60s kind of voice acting. I'm gonna get you now. You know, it's hopefully that's the next trend. But man, those are impossible to grade, by the way, because people rip them apart to play the records. But yo, man, Simpsons has been enduring forever and ever and ever, and they predict the future, right?
They do.
Right? I mean, I don't want to talk bad about any deaths or anything, but man, Simpsons called all kinds of Batman vs Superman, the deaths of Kobe Bryant, all kinds of weird shit. So it's some weird stuff. So there you go, man. It should have told you right there on the cover when you seen it. It says first issue collector's item. When you see that, that means you're supposed to go buy it.
Yes, that's
okay.
Right. First
so there you go. The Simpsons comic. 500 bones for a CGC 9.8. All right. Next up on the list is something a little bit more modern and probably more familiar with folks. What do we got, JB?
All right, now we're coming back to comic books. You know, the shout out to everybody in the chat watching. I can see some of the comments are like, what kind of list is this? Well, here we go. We're coming back to comic books, and we're coming back with one, Star Wars Kanan issue number 12, originally published in 2016 from Marvel Comics. Now, this issue features the first appearance of Admiral Sloane, the Grand Inquisitor, known as the most powerful woman in the Empire during the Kanan timeline. Now, speculation believes that if Kanan, Sabine, and all the other rebels appear in any of that new Star Wars Disney content, then Admiral Sloane won't be far behind. Now, this week, this issue hit a high of $399 for a CGC 9.8.
Look at that. All Kanan all the time. Unbelievable.
All the time.
Star Wars. It's the hotness right now. So
at least we got back to a comic book on the list.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely. Tim, what do you think about this?
Gorgeous cover, man. Mark Brooks is one of my favorite cover artists, man. I mean, just the colors, the details, and everything. And like we always say, man, just Star Wars is just it's just if you're a Star Wars fan right now, I mean, the games, the shows, the comics, the novels. I remember the High Republic novels just dropped as well. So I mean, you're loving it. So the only thing missing is the big screen. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Before it always was, everything was in the movies, but now it's this. So 9.8 for $400 for even a character that is does anybody even really know?
Yeah, Admiral Sloan, the Grand Inquisitor. You had to watch cartoons to know what we're talking about here.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's deep into it. So, all right. Kanan number 12 is next up on the list. Another one. Here we go. Now we got some big boys coming.
Oh, we got big boys. Now we're digging into Silver Age stuff right here. This is a big boy player. The air is real thin up here if you're buying these books. So Tales of Suspense 39. Follow me along on this. And this was a complete setup, as Tim always challenges my enunciation when it comes to certain people. So here we go. The first appearance Iron Man was experiencing a lull for a long time, right? It's sales price earlier this year, but it appears to have passed. A CGC 2.5 had its highest sale ever that graded during a heritage auction this past weekend, with a closing price of $5,160. Okay. Now, when we talk about Silver Age books, this is a huge increase from its prior high sale of $4,000 in July for this grade. All major Silver Age keys have been on a run lately, so it's not a huge surprise, but we're seeing new highs in Silver Age grails, okay? But it's also possible that this is partly related to the recent news around Riri Williams.
Riri
Williams.
Did you say Riri?
No, I did not. I said Riri.
Okay, Riri. Okay. I don't know. Right. Tell me, live chat. It didn't
all the time.
It sounded like you said Rari, but anyway.
No, it must be the mic. Okay. So the recent, with her recent announcement into the MCU and strong rumors of Robert Downey Jr. returning as her AI, which, fun fact of the day, folks, which first appeared in infamous Iron Man #1. Okay. So there you go. Great book, Silver Age, just grail right there. Increasing in price. Air is getting real thin when you get to these price points.
$5,000 for a 2.5. That's pretty amazing, man. But it's good to see those books getting some love. You know what I mean? Hold on one second.
I almost feel that's still undervalued, man. We're talking about, the first appearance of some of the original Marvel characters.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Especially that character.
All right, hold on, guys. Let me answer this text real fast. All right, so there you go, man. Tail Spencer 39, first appearance of your man, Iron Man. All right, what's up? Oh, next up is man. This is a ghost. If you have this is a ghost, it's almost impossible to find because I don't know if anybody was buying this, and this in the early days of Dark Horse. But what is it?
Here we go. We've got Tank Girl #1, originally published in 1991 from Dark Horse Comics, and this book is a testament to surviving bad content. This week we saw a CGC 9.8 hit all new high on our site of $999.99. Now, in the 90s, this was one of the few comic book-based films that actually made it all the way into theaters. And it's not the best. However, there is some nostalgia around it for those who remember a time when this is all we had for comic book fans to watch. Now, over the past 29 years, collectors have slowly driven up the price for this key issue and Tank Girl's first appearance in Deadline #1.
Yeah, I remember the movie, man. It wasn't.
I have the soundtrack on CD.
It wasn't. It was kind of goofy. I don't know how. To be honest, I don't remember the last time I saw it. I remember thinking this isn't awful. This isn't good, but it was. It was when it came out. It was like, what else do we have? Right, Spawn, some weird Blade, and but this just goes. And I always talk about this, and I don't want to sound condescending when I say this is people get older and have disposable income. It just means you're an adult, you have a job, and you have some extra money to spend, as opposed to when you're 19, 17 years old and you got to go and $20 is Grail book to you. Now you got if Elon Musk was a comic book collector, he would just buy up everything basically, right? I mean, there's just like Eminem is a huge comic book collector, right? His manager says he has like a 7.0 Amazing Fantasy 15, which he probably like, I want that here, just buy it. You know what I mean? But for the rest of us, things like this are like, hey man, let me save up for this. Let me sell some books and flip some books before I can buy it. But it's just our generation who grew up kind of collecting these things, when we have a job and a family and we have a regular income, a career, and then we look back on these things and we see it and go, you know what? I want that. That's a little bit of nostalgia. And that same thing about the video game market. especially the toys market, because more so than comic books, a lot more kids were into toys, and that's why they go back looking for those Star Wars action figures. Hell, I even like that damn Battlestar Galactica, the original
Viper.
This Viper ship, dude.
The Viper was the bomb.
I lived for that on that show when they would shoot out of the ship. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
I always thought that was a pretty
out.
damn cool ship with Starbuck and what was the other guy's name? Come on,
Apollo.
Apollo and Starbuck.
Boom, boom, boom. There you go, JB.
Those are my dudes, man. Those
You
are
are
my
right in my
dudes,
sweet
man.
spot right now.
Call me. This is an unpopular opinion, but I like the original Battlestar Galactica series better than I like the new one. Sorry. Shout out to Edward James Olmos for being a cholo in American Me, but I still like the old school. I used to watch Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers back to back.
Yep.
Oh, Tweaky.
I would say I was a Buck Rogers fan.
Lieutenant Colonel Deering. Oh my
Deering.
Lord. Sticky pages and all, you know what I'm saying? But she was hot, son. She was hot. You kids don't even know how hot Aaron Gray was. All right.
Aaron Gray. There you go.
There you go.
Not Linda Carter hot, but hot.
She was hot.
Buck Rogers and Twiggy, man. I had the little action figures as a kid.
Yeah. Twiggy. G Buck. Hey man, it's the end of 2020. We're just gonna get loose and just give you all of our nostalgia. Yeah, man. So the Tank Girl next up on the list for $1,000. Somebody paid CTC 9.8 on December 25th. I'm so out of it. So December 25th is Christmas Day, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So people's like,
people buying their Christmas presents.
Shopping.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I wonder if eBay has like those, use your 5% or 10, those little deals that they have. I'm pretty sure. And they'll do it tomorrow too. And always big on New Year's Day sales. So, it's interesting how you see all these 24th, 25th, people like either they bought them as a present for somebody or somebody's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to buy myself a present. And I did. And I will show you guys at my first haul of the year. All right. Next up on the list is... everybody should know this book, and you know what? Everybody should have one. So, what is it? This
should be a staple in your collection. We've been talking about this for forever. However, this is the newsstand, though. Marvel Uncanny X-Men number 266. This is the newsstand from 1990. Man, if you don't know who the first appearance of this book is, just stop watching right now. It's Gambit. But newsstands are crazy right now. If you've been following our trends here on Lords, even when newsstands weren't all that rare, they were rarer, but still pretty relevant in 1990. Okay. However, 2020 doesn't care. A CGC 9.8 newsstand copy of his first appearance of Gambit sold for a big $1,699.99. Keep in mind that the direct edition high sales of the 9.8 we've seen at only around $600. Okay. So, almost
crazy.
2.5 times for the newsstand because people love to thumb through them books and ding up those books to get 9.8. So, you know what? We've been talking about Gambit forever here on the Lords. We've been talking about this, but we haven't been talking about newsstands. And
so, as I alluded to earlier, let me pull it up. And, I have it on my phone because there's an article that was written. I forgot. This one's on Mile High Comics, and they do a great job of telling you. And Comic Con can also tell you what the breakdown of newsstand to direct stand is. And this is the perfect time to talk about it. So in 1990, the direct market was 85%. As opposed to the newsstand, which is 15%. So let's put that into perspective. Let's say, so there was a huge print run in 1990. Let's just, for argument's sake, let's just say there was 1 million copies. I know it's not 1 million copies, but that would have meant that there was 150,000 newsstand copies. Okay. So I'm guessing this is more around maybe 400 or 500 print run, which at 15% still makes it pretty high relative to today, where 400,000 or 500,000 is a huge print run on a new book. So let me break it down to you, and write this down or whatever, or Google it. But I'm going to give you the year versus newsstand versus direct market. So when you go out and you think, the newsstand is more rare or the rec here. So they don't do it every year, but in 1979, obviously newsstand took up 94% and the direct market was only 6%, right? Comic shops were just starting to come out, but in 1979, 7-Elevens and all the stores were selling comics mostly. In 1982, started getting a more bigger of a bump. Still mainly newsstand, 80% as opposed to 20% direct market. Here's what's interesting. 1986, 50-50 split. Boom. That's when comic shops really started coming to fruition and started booming. By the time 1990 came, forget about it. We were in the middle of the comic boom, and now when it was 85% direct market to 15% newsstand.
Wow.
1995 didn't move that much for 5 years, 90% as opposed to 10%. But when you get to the year 2000, in the year 2000, anyway, for you Conan fans, direct market 95% versus 5% newsstand in the year 2000.
Wow.
2005, 98% direct market, 2% newsstand. So there's when you really started. Should be those newsstands are really, really rare. 2013, 99% direct market, 1% newsstand. Okay. So, I mean, that's why that Miles Morales Ultimate Fallout #4 newsstand is so ridiculously priced. I mean, because, you think about it, in 2013, who was still selling comic books besides comic book stores? I mean, I'm trying to,
what was that 1% market? Where was that at?
Yeah. Shout out to our friends over in Canada, Aegis Comics of Alaska, $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Make sure you check out our friends at Aegis Comics, Lou and Amy, doing some great stuff over there. They're absolutely hilarious. Don't forget to shoot Jumanji at midnight. Shout. Yeah.
Shout.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm drunk. Whatever, man.
Shout.
So, I don't even understand that reference. Cheers. I know somebody explained that reference to me because I still don't understand it.
You didn't see the movie?
Yeah, I seen Jumanji. Yeah, I seen it. But why at midnight though?
Is that how you get in the game or out of the game? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
thank you for finding out on super chat, man. All right. Next one on the list, the last book for 2020 that we are going to talk about. And this one is an interesting one.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
You got this. You got to show it to us.
Ready for this?
Yeah, go ahead. So,
all right, here it's my read. I thought you
go ahead
on me, right?
JB, yeah, hey, JB got it.
Okay, so the final book we have here is Wolverine issue number 145. But you ready for this? It's the Bill Sienkiewicz Nabisco Mail Away. Yes, you heard me right. The Nabisco Mail Away, originally published in 1999 from Marvel Comics. Now, we talked about the White Bone Error version of this book recently, but there's another variant that has held its value just as well. This Bill Sienkiewicz variant was only available to those who spotted the promo and sent in barcodes from various Nabisco packages by a set deadline. This likely kept the circulation numbers down. Now, ready for this? An approximately 9.0 copy with some alleged press potential, yet shady eBay seller pictures auction recently sold for $700. Now, the buyer is likely hoping to press this up to a CGC 9.8 and enjoy that $1,500 to $1,700 this book can command. But missing the bullseye by a hair and only hitting a 9.6 will allow the buyer to break even. Completely missing the mark and receiving a 9.4 copy will put the buyer out hundreds of dollars. Now, such is the gamble of buying a notably damaged book and hoping to breathe new life into it with a press. Yep. It pays to know your grades, know what damage can be pressed and clean, and demand more pictures if you can't see such an investment.
Preach, brother. Preach.
Right? Come on.
All right. And we don't want to do a how to collect video because, this is a channel where all of our collectors are, they know what they're doing. But as we always say, man, if you get a book, get as many pictures as you can. Obviously, first-hand knowledge of knowing how to grade a comic, you should know that. All right. Like it always irks me when people are selling on eBay, go, I'm not a professional grader, but look at these pictures. Look, if you're a comic collector, you should be at least be able to know the basic overstreet of, fine plus, near mint, very fine mine. You know what I mean? You should be a rough estimation of that, but good Lord. just for the trouble you had to go through to get this book,
collect barcodes from Nabisco packages, and then actually physically mail these barcodes in by a set deadline, and then hope this thing showed up, not beat to hell.
Damaged, right?
Wow,
that would never happen nowadays. People are too lazy, and people are like, mail. Well, what's a stamp? You know what I mean? Nobody, people are shipping packages nowadays. Nobody mails anything on a letter with a stamp. But there's. Historically, I think there's been a few of these. One of the more popular ones is obviously the Harbinger one, right? Where they told you to snip out a bunch of ones, and then every one you got the special pink one. But nowadays I don't think they would ever do any type of mail away, giveaway stuff for that. But
plus nowadays they're not going to do anything to mutilate the comic anymore.
Well, that is true. That getting it in a 9.6 also is amazing too. I mean, what's crazy to me is when people had subscriptions back in whatever the 60s or 70s, whatever, and they just mailed it to them. And obviously that's the term subscription creases because they were folded in half. So believe it or not, they used to mail comics and fold them in half because they just said, hey, this little kid is just going to read it. So who gives a shit what the hell they're going to do? But you know what?
How does CGC grade that subscription crease? Because I always wanted to know.
They don't give it any. Yeah, they grade it as it is.
And he says that no. So it is. It's just like they can't tell if it was a subscription crease or you just done folded.
Well, they don't tell it. They just say, "Yo, this is a crease." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but you don't. They don't like. They don't give you a break because it's a subscription subscription crease. You know what I mean? So they just say it. But pretty hard for them not to break color. On those subscription creases, especially if you think you ever see those pictures of the kids in black and white from the 50s or whatever, and they got a comic folded up, put it in their back pocket. You know what I mean? That's what it was back then. You ride on your bike, put your comic in the back pocket, pull it out, read it, and go smoke some cigs. But I wanted to pull up the CoverPrice website. Because there's also some interesting books on there, and like I said, this, as we said earlier, this list changes daily. So as soon as I figure out how to share my screen, which always seems to be an adventure.
And by the way, John DeMonico mentioned that Barnes and Noble was probably that last 1%, as they were one of the last holdouts still selling comic books, and they probably were considered the newsstand.
Yeah. So this is for those who sign up for a full subscription. So this is what you'll see, man. So to cover this, obviously we went over this, the Monday weekly top 10. This is the weekly movers, highest unit sales, and this is the daily shakers. This is the movers are highest units sold. So you can see how many you're selling. So you can tell right there, Earth's Mightiest Avengers, Young Avengers. Look at that, Secret War. You know why? What's her name's getting some love. We're hearing Quake's coming. So it's good to see Star Wars. I mean, we always talk about this unit is 22 units sold. So, and on the Shakers list, let's take a look at them because we only talk about 10 of them, but there are 50 of them on a daily basis.
Look at all that.
50 of them on a daily basis. So you have your usual suspects, the Hulk, 181. Looks like 7.5 just sold for $4,883. Hey, that's the same grade as mine. Journey into Mystery. That's not a bad price when I think think about it.
I'm telling you, they're still undervalued. I still think that is an undervalued book.
Yeah, look at that. First appearance of Silver Surfer is a 7.0, 2,900. That's not a bad price either. I'm looking at all these. I may have to go buy some stuff. But
what's that vision at? I can't see it from your.
So this book is interesting to me because obviously this is coming off of the. Remember, there was double. This is what I like, double or triple spec, right? When Vision was first coming in Age of Ultron, the book got a spike and then it just dropped. But it's gotten new life because of the WandaVision series. And look at that, a graded 9.2 sold.
2000
yesterday. I'm telling you, that's why this list changes multiple times a day. It sold yesterday for $2,000, a CTC 9.2. Damn it, I wish I would have given that. So it's just some interesting. Avengers #1. This book I think is still undervalued, by the way.
It definitely is. I agree with you.
Here's something interesting. Somebody really digs their Kiss books. The Marvel Comics Super Special Kiss 9.8 just sold for $12.49.
Wow.
This isn't even the one with the blood. Is that the one with the blood on it and the ink?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think. Live chat, help me out. What is the Kiss comic that had the blood in the ink? I know that one is one of the more sought out after books. Obviously, Boba Fett, it continues to go crazy.
AT, but there's a question in the chat about what is the yearly cost of the cover price?
It's $6.99 a month, I think, or a year. Yeah, I think $6.99. It's absolutely nothing.
$6.99 a month.
Yeah, $6.99 a month. That's like a cup of coffee. It's a cup of coffee.
Yeah, just a cup of coffee.
Look at that. Doctor Strange, first appearance, Strange Tales 110 in a 1.8, just sold for $1,000. That is crazy. Go, Doctor Strange. That's my man.
I'm gonna have to lower my bar now to a point.
Yeah, so it's some other thing here. Obviously, Heir to the Empire is incredibly hot right now. CGC 9.6 just sold yesterday for $910. Wow. Pretty cool. Wow. That book is going crazy with Thrawn and everything. Good to see Gwen Stacy on here. Yeah. Let's see if there's anything interesting. This is one I was looking at earlier, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's a UK version of Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. Yeah, it's 27 pence or pence. Help me out.
That's
in the UK.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So $450 for a CGC 9.8. So this was the UK telling of Marvel's Secret Wars. I mean, it just goes to show you, people start, buying up everything, and then they start, there is a UK version of eBay. So that's interesting. Spawn number 1, obviously. Hey, let's look at this Wonder Woman.
Yeah. While we're looking at that, you guys, just so you know, for CoverPrice.com, they do have a free trial that you can sign up for on their website and go check it out. And they do have the free access page. So just try it out. You get very limited access to it, but you know what?
Well, what's also cool is, you can go through your collection and you can add comics, and it keeps track of the prices. So I'll look at my collection. I haven't updated in a while, so it's pretty low. Oh
my goodness.
I haven't added everything yet, but I have 1,000 comics in there, and estimated value of $50,000. I don't know what my highest is, but what's cool is you can click on this over here, and you can see what the hot comics are, which shows you Strange Academy, Warlock. This interesting. A lot of X-Men on here. Obviously, oh my God, I need to go back to my LCS. I just saw Star Wars number 3 on there. This Daredevil is hot right now. These are considered hot issues. Obviously, this one, Carnage, Batman.
Manual.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that these the 70s series Star Wars and the reprints is going to just start catching fire because people aren't going to be able to get the first series anymore?
I think so. And what's cool is when you add books to your collection, they tell you what all your keys are. So let's look into my world of my collection that I've added and what my keys are. So these are the most recent ones I've added of my keys. Hey, my first Kang.
Very nice.
My first Echo, my 2 Ultimate Fallouts, my Doctor Strange.
Ooh, look at that. All those Master of Kung Fu's you got, all your Spawn.
I've kind of been, I have a lot of these ones.
Good Lord. Angela.
Oh, man. I'm trying to see if there's anything in here like, I forgot I had that. So, all the X-Men books. There you go. That's a key.
Brother Voodoo.
Star Wars 8 is a key. First appearance of the bunny guy. Star Wars number 2. We all know that book is hot right now. I don't know why this book is on here, but these are considered. So if you click on, let me get to why it's a key. It tells you, here it is. This is a key comic and why. It's the first appearance of Diamond Head, right? So that's why it's considered a key. Let's find a more obscure one to see. Oh, there's one of my favorite. First appearance of the Watcher.
Ooh,
there you go. I love it. I got that's a great book.
So, let's see this.
JB, you won that book.
I did.
Why is this Deadly Hands of Kung Fu a key? Because it's the first appearance of White Tiger. There you go. Rumored to be coming up. Obviously, most people know what these keys are. So it's good to know when what you can easily click to see what's in your collection. What's interesting is I had 2 rare finds on here, and they're no longer considered rare finds. Yeah. So then you can go to the bottom and you can see, you know, all the stuff that's in your collection. You know, so if I look at my, you know, number of comics owned, estimated series value, things of that nature. So some good stuff, man. I mean, you know, we wanted to partner with CoverPrice because I love what they're doing. You know, you can put your own collection in there. You can keep track of stuff. And for a lot of us who used to use CLZ, there you can export your CLZ database so you don't have to manually put everything in there. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
So it is available. So
you're telling me that it'll import, you know, basically a comma separated value file.
Exactly.
So even if you had your collection maybe in Excel, as long as it's in the right format, could you bring it in?
A CSV file.
Very nice.
So basically I exported, I didn't add 1,090 books in there. I had those in my CLZ and I sent them the CSV file and then they uploaded it. And it was about 98% accurate. So that's still pretty well. And then as you go, you just add them in. So, you know, here, I'll show you. Let's just say, give me a book and I'll search for it.
No, X-Men 121.
X-Men. You picked a book that I already have, but
oh, gotcha. Okay.
So you just look up X-Men 121 and it shows you all the different iterations. So if I click on it here, it tells me it's a key comic, right? First appearance Alpha Flight. And it says I already own one, right? Let me find something. Pick something DC because I know I don't have that.
I have a DC, man. What about Captain America 193? Captain America 193.
Okay. Because I'll show you how easy it is to add it to the Captain America 193. There you go.
Mad Bomb.
Ah, damn it. I have this too.
You have it?
I think so. Kid. I think so. I don't. I haven't added it yet. So there you go. So it tells you everything. Last sales, raw comic, you know, 470. What the trends are, it's dropping in prices. And if you look down here, typical graded average for 9.4, 125, but it also has a GPA type interface where you can look and see what the averages are. So here, recorded sales range of, you know, from 30 to 175 and the sales averages over here to this side. And it also does it for rare or raw copies. But on the raw copies, it's a bit of a guessing game because you never really know. You know, if somebody buys it on eBay and it says it's a VF, I mean, it's up to debate, right? We don't know, but for sure, CGC is it. So what you want to do? Click on here, and you just say you can either add a raw, and you just click add, or you can add it graded, and then you can say actually what grading company it is. And what grade it is. Nothing for signatures yet because the reason why it's hard to place a value on a signature, so that's why they don't say the signature on it. You know what I mean? I mean, I know GPA does it, but it really, I mean, at this point, it's kind of hard to value what a signature is worth. And also, they don't add for the raw what grade it is because that's subjective as well. But you can add quantity. So, you know, they're always working on things. It's a really smooth interface. And the good thing about it is, and I'll stop sharing now. So Otto, wait.
No. I wanted you to look up a DC book. Everyone's
okay.
Right. What about that Hell Arisen 3? I want to know what's going on with that.
Oh, okay. I like where you're going with this. I hope I spelled it right. There you go.
Have that.
Yes. I want to know what's going on with this.
Yeah, I have 4 of them. You see here. All slabbed, by the way.
Nice.
So right now, typical sale raw is $75. Graded is $147. If we go here and look at sales data, and it kind of shows you a sliding scale. So last one sold, you know, 147 for 9.8. And if what I really like is this area down here, because this actually can show you kind of charts how it's going. I mean, tons of them have been selling lately, but if we look at it here, as opposed to this graphic, for those who, you know, chart nerds, you can use this, but here you can tell, look, December 2020 on December 19th, $207. November, 182, 182. October had a little spike of 219. Look at that. October really had a spike on this, right? If you look at that, it's kind of been going down. So this is one of those things where it's hot and they haven't done much with Punchline lately. But as soon as
I need to jump back in point. I need to know when my jump back in point is. I felt I missed it, so now I'm waiting. I
think now would be a good. I think now would be a good time to buy. So I mean, if you go to graded sales data, it just goes back more and more and more. So it's a great tool to see, kind of you're gonna get a history and see where it's going. You know what I mean? Cover. Look up Witchblade and 10 and know you have it. What? Okay. I do have Witchblade 10, but I don't think I've added it yet. So I think he said Witchblade 10. That's the first appearance of the Darkness.
That says Witchbladed.
Witchbladed, yeah.
There you go.
I went from a 30-minute show to an hour show, but we're here for you guys.
We're here for you.
Okay, so one other thing I didn't show was, so here's Witchblade 10, the first appearance of the Darkness. If you scroll down, it shows you the variant covers and also the prices for the variant covers. Okay. Somebody's going pee-pee. So here it is. So if you look at, first of all, I just got to admire this cover because I absolutely love it. Love it. Mark Silvestri just killed it. So there's two of them actually. And you can actually, no, it's not working. It's a little, my internet's bugging, but see, you scroll back and forth. And you can look at the values for each variant as well. So there you go, man. And even here, there's a little issue summary. So Sarah tries to investigate her mysterious killer, trying to find the missing Lisa. Sarah confronts Dennett at her modeling studio. Oh, man. And then you can actually look at all the covers. And this is another part of when, if you want to add a collection, you can just say, okay, let's say I have this one. You just click on here. Excuse me. Add to collection, add to collection, add to collection. So you just go.
So boom. You can bring up the whole collection.
Yeah, just the whole series.
Click.
Yeah,
unfortunately, raw because you're not giving it a grade in raw.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think CLZ has where you can kind of multi-check a bunch of things. But this one, you get cool covers and you can just add here. But what's cool is when you click on Add Collection, you can add it, say either raw or graded. So and it keeps the important CLZ doesn't tell you what the values of them are. But oh man, I love Witchblade covers. Look at that. Rest in peace.
Nice
Michael Turner. All right, so I'm gonna stop giving you guys all the stuff for free, man. So
let them look it up themselves or check it out.
Nice.
So man, that's it, man. That's CoverPrice in a nutshell. It's a great tool. I use it every day. You can literally go down a rabbit hole for a while, and just looking for stuffs. And if there's something in there that you don't see, like if you have a uber rare comic or a unknown comic or something like that, you could send them a message and they'll add it in there. You know what I mean? They can add in there, and if you could, they won't tell you, and they'll start, pulling it. They mine data like a few times a day. We're talking hundreds and thousands of data points that they mine and update. They got this, that's why they got a team of engineers behind this, and and that's the reason why I wanted to work with them, because this is a truly legit professional like IT group that they got behind them. So great stuff, man. And I choose who I partner with and sponsor with because I think they offer a great service. You know what I mean? So, but they don't do the speculation side. You know what? They don't forecast things too much. They tell you what things are being sold for. So they're not manipulating. We're not trying to manipulate the market. We're just showing you what the market's doing. That's why we do our show on Tuesday, and we look at the last week's sales to kind of get an idea of what the trends are. And as a comic book collector, you should probably be looking at what trends are, because similar to the stock market, that's what comic books are, in a way where you look at trends and you kind of see where trends are going, and then you make your judgment there. And plus, it's just a great tool outside of, and here's my end of the year tangent. Not tangent, but I've gotten to the point where I think I'm being overwhelmed with comic books. Because not necessarily buying them, because I buy stuff and I don't post them every day like I used to. And not everything I post needs to be something that is being a spec book or a crazy variant. Sometimes I just want to post a Witchblade cover because I think it's cool, because it's a comic cover of the day, or it's a throwdown. That's why Instagram is so great. You could have a Throwdown Thursday hashtag where you find a cool cover. And I think I don't know if we're partly to blame to that. I started on Instagram posting comics in 2012, and in 2015 when my channel launched, I was talking about comics, and to be different, I said, you know what, this is when movie news was hot, and I always said I'm going to buy comics based on movie news. But it seems like there seems to be a lot of that information out there now, and I think maybe. I do less hauls now, and and it seems to be, I don't know how to say it. Like I seem to be, I don't know, the business side of it, or I am a reporter of it, and so therefore I don't get to enjoy it as much, right? After my shows, I get I'm literally drained, and I just go and I veg out. I don't have time to read comics anymore. It's stuff that I used to do. So 2021. I just want to get back to showing comics daily. Hey, Multiple Comic Monday, Top Variant Tuesday, Webhead Wednesday, Throwdown Thursday, First Appearance Friday. And by the way, I do not agree with Top Variant Thursday. That does
negative.
It has to be Top Variant Tuesday because they sound the same. It can't be Throwdown Thursday works. First Appearance Friday works. I'm just saying,
Just so you guys all know, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So, obviously Silver Age Saturday, Show Off Sunday. God, it's great that all the, it's interesting is if you've been on Instagram long enough, the people that actually created some of these hashtags.
Wow.
Like, I think my man,
Storm Shadow Art.
I think my Storm Shadow started Top Variant Tuesday, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yep.
And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I started comic cover of the day because I went back and looked, and I was the first one to do it back in 2013.
I think you did Halloween comic covers though. That was you. I think that was all you.
It may have been.
That was all you. I think
it may have been. There was a group of us that said, "Hey, let's get together and do these." So there's some OGs on IG that started this whole hashtag trend, and it's a great way to interact with the community, and you can tag up to 20 of your buddies, to show, your stuff. So it's, that's why I always say you could show a comic book and, but if you want other people before people say, I tagged this so-and-so doing this, just assume if somebody tags you that they're saying, hey man, this is what I got. What do you got? That's just the way it is, man. That's because I think Instagram is great for comic books because it allows collectors to communicate across the world, literally, right? Say, hey, what'd you get, bro? Oh, I got this. I know it's new comic book day. Yeah, what did you get? I got this. So it just seems like I don't know how to say this, but it's just overwhelming that everything is spec now and flip now and this now, and I think we're partly to blame for that as well. But we also try to help out the collectors by saying, hey, we just heard this, go out and get this while it's cheap, but we don't, it's just a suggestion, don't blame us.
You don't have to do it. Don't have to do it.
But, for the most part, our track record was good, but I think, at the same time, I see people complaining about things are all spec, collect what you love. That's a duh. Why would you collect stuff you don't love?
Right, you're not keeping up with the Joneses, so just
enjoy yourself. If you love spec, collect spec.
Yeah. You like Funko Pops like JB?
Yeah, absolutely.
You like records? Collect records. People say collect what you love. They assume that means that it doesn't mean it's first appearances and variants and spec books. People can love anything they want, but I'm just saying, it's just 2020 has just been overwhelming with maybe because we're at home and maybe we're on our computers a lot and let's see what JB's got there. Well, we'll show and tell with JB now.
Pops, man, come on, we collect what we want. Isn't this cool? This McCoy?
I got that Mando one. That's the one with the best.
But this is the one where it was that Frank McCourty artwork. You know,
Nice.
it's the concept.
Is that a larger
series.
than
Right.
normal box?
It's a concept series. No, it's just a regular.
Yeah, I got that one. That's the
This one
Mando
now.
with the Beskar armor, right?
So you're saying you didn't open yours? You're not going to open yours? I want to open this thing. I want to play with them. I want to articulation.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm still
come on.
one of
I
those
don't.
guys that haven't opened. I don't open my toy boxes. I know.
So are you telling me if you got one of these, you wouldn't open it? Because I got to open this.
Oh,
You got to open that.
well, that's a
JB, you
Lego.
gotta do a
Of course,
video
you
on
have to
that.
open Legos. You have to put it together. I mean,
I got to put this son of a bitch together. This is going to be a time lapse,
Yeah,
man.
do that. You gotta do a
my
time
very
lapse
first
video on
Lego
that.
time lapse build.
Yeah.
how many people?
know.
Oh, is that 75,000 pieces?
No, this is 1,700.
Yeah, still, it might as
I
well
looked
be.
at that number at the top, 752. I was like, is that
1,300.
75,000 pieces?
No, 1,300.
I'm sorry,
Here's the other
1,300 is like 1,200 too many for me.
Nice.
That side.
Awesome.
1,300. Well, my kids got that for me, man. I'm just nuts. So
Oh
right.
man, that looks dope. So
Anyway.
all right, we expect the video to be done in an hour. Go ahead,
yeah, right, man.
and I want to see the
forever
video
for me
of
to
you
put anything
stepping
out
on a
now.
Lego with your bare feet too. So
Done
That's
that
one
a
of
million
the
times
memes
over. Man. With
recently.
3 kids, I've done it a million times over.
all right, guys,
Lego.
3:00.
Not
We
the
ran
big
a whole hour, so that was fun, man. We got to talk about comic books, talk cover
Push the
price,
bag down with the big-
some collecting stuff. So yo, man. JB, any last words for the new year to everybody?
I'm still the big, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Check out my channel. I'm going to drop the link if you haven't already. I dropped my 2-minute and 15-second, which I do every week, of my top 10, which is kind of just what I'm reading. And these are the comic books I'm driving to the LCS to go get so I can read, because there's stories out there that I think are still pretty worth, reading. Beyond that, I'm doing guest appearances. I'm really looking forward to next Thursday, which we're going to recap the year right here on the Shakers. I think this list is one of the most unique top 10 lists on YouTube. I mean, think about it. We had all kinds of craziness in this
Blip
list.
magazines,
So-
Mario Brothers. It was a great list.
Oh,
tonight.
nuts. But I want to thank you for having me on. I'm super excited to be on this panel on Thursdays. And hey, man, don't forget, we had a good time.
That's
You can put me
right.
Back to the small now.
You want to get back small? Sorry,
Yeah,
I
we
can't
gotta
make
go
any
back to
promises,
small.
man. That'll be a New Year's resolution for you.
Little guy. There you go.
Hey.
JB's back.
Otto,
Hey.
any last words?
Yeah, man. I just want to say thank you very much.
Oh,
You know,
blow
and Tim, I
Otto up
think,
too. There you go, man.
there you go. And you know
There
what?
you
I
go.
just want to say, as we close out the year, ending in 2020, I think this is my 3rd or 4th year that I've officially been part of the Lords, and I want to thank everybody for their support between Ryan, Darkside Jedi, and all the other Lords that have come post and pre, or post and whatever. So thank you very much for having me on the
There's
channel.
been a lot of
It's been a
us.
blast. That's right. But to stay with you guys for almost 4 years now has just been my absolute pleasure. We also have a channel called 3 Men in a Basement, so please head over there, sub up. I dropped the link a few times. We've got lots of great videos. My boy Roger, the Cranky Canadian, was on last night, almost for 90 minutes, talking about some things. We've got Dave in a Cave. We've got lots of videos dropping.
Are we going to talk about that mystery box?
No, we're not going to talk about it because you got to go back and watch the video, and then we'll talk about that again. So
Oh, yo,
Yeah.
man.
You
All
know.
I'm going to say is, Roger got fucking raped on a mystery box.
yeah, so you got to
From
go back. and watch.
supposedly somebody credible in the Instagram community, but
Right.
that's some fucking bullshit right there.
Yeah, so
I'm
definitely.
sorry, my truth serum is kicking in, but go
Yeah,
check
it
out
is,
3
it
Men in
is.
the Basement and
So-
Roger's really disappointing mystery box for somebody who put that box together knows nothing about
Yeah,
comics.
it was a little rough,
and
so-
I will debate them any day of the week, and I will bury them.
Yep,
I gotta go check
absolutely.
this out.
So go check that video out. You'll see what's going on. But other than that, 3 Men in the Basement, we got a lot of things coming up for the first quarter. And I do want to thank everybody. My goal on 3 Men in the Basement was to pick up 1,000 subs this year. We surpassed that with 1,250 subs. So
Congrats.
thank you very much. I appreciate
Congrats.
that. We appreciate that. So being part of the Lords, being part of 3 Men in the Basement is very important to me. Being a part of this community, talking and interacting with everybody is absolutely fantastic. And remember, if there's anything you want to talk about, find me on Instagram, Everett_Otto. I love to chat. I love to talk. Comic books, life, good, bad things, whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm always there. So on behalf of the Lords of the Long Box, on behalf of 3 Men in the Basement, Happy New Year to everybody. Be safe. And I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.
That's it. Otto, your life coach right there. So
Yeah.
once
There you
again, Happy New Year. And once again, scrolling through the bottom is feedingamerica.org. There's a new, I can't even believe we have this new phrase in 2020 called food insecurity. I've never heard that word before this year, to be honest with you. Food insecurity essentially means you don't know where your next meal is coming from. So COVID has hit people hard. People have lost their jobs. They can't feed their families. So food banks, with COVID, they aren't able to get the donations they normally are. So I implore you, go to the link at the bottom below, feedingamerica.org, and it shows all the food banks in your local area that you can donate. And just because the holiday's over, these people still need help. A $600 stimulus check goes through in about, I don't know, a week. What are you going to do with $600? I mean, buy just green beans all day long. I mean, so do what you can for, to help out your fellow human, I was going to say your fellow citizen. It doesn't matter. Whoever it is, man, help them out if they're feeding. It's the base essential of humanity is eating. Right. I mean, going back to the caveman days, that's all they did was they were hunter gatherers, so go to the bottom of feedingamerica.org and do what you can to help out hunger, which we are having a hunger in this time. It's hard to believe. The hunger levels are not quite a third world countries yet, but it's really getting high. If you watch your local news every night, you'll see the lines of cars lined up to get meals. I mean, we're just talking about Thanksgiving meals or Christmas meals, but just going forward because a lot of times after the holidays, people drop their guard down and they don't, no longer are in that giving mood, not casting aspersions onto anybody. But, that's when it typically happens. But I'm just saying it's going to continue to need to happen. Do whatever you can to help out, to help people. If you can't donate money, whatever food you have sitting around that you're not eating, go ahead and donate that. And thank you. Excuse me. Thank you all for being here for, a tumultuous year of quarantine where we really, you know what? I was on every week this year. Every week. I didn't miss a show because I worked from home. Yeah. But you know what? But I also said, you know what? Hey, man, I'm going to hang out with you guys because, like guys like Fletcher Fox and others send us messages saying, hey, man, the shows you guys do really helping out because, there's a lot of people who are by themselves or in levels of depression. And hopefully we can, bring a little happiness to your life for 1 hour a day or 30 minutes a day. Or in JB's case, he gives you 2 minutes of pleasure.
2 minutes. Let's check it out. 2 minutes.
Hey. People have been knocked out in a heavyweight fight in less than 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So from all the lords, I want to wish you guys all a happy new year, and we will see you in 2021. Thank God. You know what? Let's go out old school, man. We haven't played this one in a while. So, hey, happy new year, all you guys, and we will see you on the other side of 2021. That's amazing. So peace out, everybody, and keep digging in them long boxes.
Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.
The world's 3 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is update.
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is update. In this, you shall know that the Lord is update.
Go on and get some, boys. What the heck is the deal? I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is update.
What's in the box?